This is for Year 12 Methods. It is the 2014 Functions Application Tech Allowed question number 3. Victoria James finds herself trapped inside a tank. There she is, trapped inside the tank. There is a hose adding liquid at a rate of PT and a pump removing liquid at the rate of QT. In this question, round answers to 2 decimal places. Good, so I can use the main section, I can use the graphs and tables section and graphs. Sketch the graph of P of T minus Q of T, representing the net rate of water change for the first 18 hours. Okay, I'm going to define these as P and Q. I'm going to use X instead of T. So over here, I'm going to have keyboard 100 square root of X. Now, because I have sine cubed, I'm going to put a big bracket, and inside I'll put sine of X divided by 6, and I'll close the bracket for the sine, and then outside here I'm going to have that raised to the power of 3. So that's how I'm going to enter my sine. If I press X just to make sure that it's exactly as I like it, 100 square root T sine of T on 6 all cubed. So put that into a new line. I'm going to define that, and I'm going to define it using, in the ABC section, P. And it's P of X, not P of T, because when I wish to draw it, I want to have the independent variable X. So my second one is 250, and it's going to be, I'll use a bracket, and inside the bracket I've got sine of X divided by 3. I'll close the bracket for the sine, and outside here I'll raise it to the power of 4. And I will execute just to make sure that it's exactly what I want. Touch it once, drag, then interactive advanced define, interactive define, and I'm going to call this one Q. I'm going to pick it up out of ABC because it's not a variable, it's a name. And it's about X, so that's correct. And I wish to draw it for 18 hours. Okay, so I'm going to open up the window. I'm going to go zoom. No, I'm going to choose 0 to 18. Okay, in here I'm going to have P minus Q. So there's P of X. Edit, copy, edit, paste, minus Q of X. Drag and drop, drag and drop. Zoom, auto. I'm in degrees, I'm in radians, now I'm in radians. Zoom, auto, and there we are. So, I've got this graph here. I'd like to see how many x-intercepts. Analysis, gsolve, root. I have one at 0. I've got one at 0. I've got one at 0.02. I've got another one at 6.15. I have another one at 13.12. And that's the last of the x-intercepts. I'm interested in the endpoint. Analysis, gsolve, y calculation for this particular graph when x equals 18. Okay, and that tells me that the y coordinate at the endpoint should be negative 0.33 when x equals 18. I need to find the coordinates of the minimum, gsolve minimum of that one. So therefore 4.33, negative 182. And if I move across, 14.67, negative 133.48. And I'm looking for analysis G-solve maximum, and it tells me that it is at 9.96 and 311.6 to 3 decimal places. Okay, that's my graph. State the times that with the amount of the water did not change. The amount of the water did not change was when P of X minus Q of X equals 0. Now I do know that if I bring up my keyboard, go back 0, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. If I select that, if options given, X goes from 0 to 18, because there's lots and lots of answers. And now I go interactive advanced solve for X. Okay. Many solutions exist and it gives me 0, 6.15, 13. But it didn't pick up this one here. So be careful. Okay, because you calculate, yes you can, because the highest is 311, so she'll exist at 330. State the times when the rate of increase was double the rate of decrease. Okay, so I want when P of T equals 2Q of T, which means that when that is minus that, it should equal 0. So if I open up a window and I drag and I drop, so when I'm graphing that minus that, and if I go zoom auto, the times that they will be equal to each other is when P of T minus 2Q of T equals 0, analysis G-solve root, and that will be at 0. And at negative 0.0056, at 6.72, at 12.38, and that's all. When is it the other way around? So if I don't have the 2 there, but I do have it here, 2 times. Open up the window again, grab this one, draw it, the second one is drawn, analysis, G-solve root. I don't want this one, so I go up. I do want this one, so I press enter. It was at 0 and at 0.09 and at 5.41 and at 14.28 and at 17.44 are my answers.